Why were you born here and now? Why did you end up in this body, among these people, facing these challenges? Ancient spiritual traditions say this is no accident. Before each incarnation, the soul makes a choice. Where to be born, with whom, what to experience. This choice is not a game of chance or a sentence, but part of a grand plan created by your own soul. Today, we will discuss how the soul shapes the script of its future life before entering the body. Why some destinies seem heavy while others appear light. How the laws of karma and free will operate. And why even the most painful events can be part of growth. We will turn to Eastern wisdom, esoteric teachings, and inner revelations to see that every encounter, every loss, every joy is not random. All of it was chosen in advance, because it is under these conditions that the soul can remember who it truly is. Perhaps you've already felt this. You just didn't know what to call it. The topic of reincarnation and the soul's destiny extends far beyond traditional religious teachings. The concept that life is not a single event, but part of an eternal cycle, has been known for millennia. In Indian and Buddhist teachings, this process is called samsara, and its purpose is to overcome the limitations of human existence. But the soul cannot achieve enlightenment immediately. It must pass through many lives, each carrying important lessons and opportunities for growth. In these teachings, the soul is immortal and returns again and again until it breaks free from the chains of karma. This is not random, but a necessity embedded in the very fabric of existence. The driving force behind this process is karma, the law of cause and effect, which describes how our actions, thoughts, and intentions create consequences. Karma is not punishment, but a system that allows the soul to learn from its mistakes and evolve with each life. A soul burdened by misunderstanding must learn empathy, love, wisdom, forgiveness, and patience. Free will plays a crucial role in this journey, as it enables the soul to choose its actions, which in turn influence its evolution. In each life, the soul encounters a new set of lessons, and every choice we make shapes its further journey. It all begins long before birth. On one level of existence, beyond time and form, the soul realizes it is time for a new experience. This process is called pre-incarnation planning. The soul, having reached a certain level of awareness, reviews past lives with spiritual guides, analyzing lessons learned and those left unfinished. There is no blame or fear here, only clarity, honesty, and a desire to grow. At this stage, the soul chooses what it wants to learn in its new life. This could be acceptance, forgiveness, humility, love, or inner strength. For each lesson, a corresponding context is selected. A body with specific traits, a family with the right conditions, circumstances that can awaken the necessary qualities. This resembles a script, not rigid, but a flexible plan accounting for karmic ties and free will. The soul doesn't merely agree, it actively chooses where and how to be born to walk the path back to itself. One of the most remarkable aspects of the pre-incarnation plan is the selection of not just conditions, but also people. The soul does not enter life alone. Before birth, it forms spiritual agreements with other souls. These could be the souls of future parents, siblings, lovers, or even enemies. Each plays a role, and not all roles are pleasant. Some are painful, harsh, yet they open the door to inner growth. These agreements are not based on human logic, but are made out of love and a shared desire to help each other remember who we are. Thus, the one who betrayed you might have been chosen to awaken your strength. The one who left too soon might have come to teach you to let go. Everything has meaning, even if that meaning is hidden behind a veil of forgetting. We don't remember these agreements, but the soul knows. And at certain moments in life, it quietly reminds us, through pain, sudden recognition, or a deep inner sense that everything is going according to plan. Once the script is set, conditions chosen, and connections established, the soul is ready for incarnation. But for the experience to be genuine, one crucial condition must be met: forgetting. Upon entering the physical body, the soul passes through a veil that obscures memories of past lives, karmic agreements, and even its own divine nature. This is not punishment, but a necessary condition for authentic experience. Without this veil, we would know too much, avoid hardships, and lose the purpose of our lessons. Forgetting allows us to act freely, make choices, learn, and most importantly, awaken. Yet, the soul's memory does not disappear. It lives within us, manifesting through intuition, feelings of recognition, spontaneous fears, love at first sight, or an inexplicable pull to certain places. These are keys leading to a deeper understanding of ourselves. The more attentive we become to these inner signs, the closer we come to remembering what we've always known. The physical world the soul enters is not just a stage for events, it is a unique learning space. Matter, density, bodily limitations, and linear time create conditions where abstract spiritual qualities become real. Here, compassion is not just an idea, but a choice to forgive. Love is not just a feeling, but an action despite pain. Loss is not just a theory, but a lived experience of letting go. Everything that seems difficult or unfair is designed to awaken our inner strength, memory, and wisdom. Unlike spiritual realms where all is one, here we experience separation, loneliness, and fear. But it is through this that we return to wholeness. The soul, living life after life, refines itself like a sculptor-shaped stone. Every challenge is a chisel strike, followed by revelation. This is not an easy path, but it is the only one for those who wish to remember who they were before forgetting and become themselves again. A crucial element of earthly experience is the interplay between karma and free will. Karma is not a verdict, but a consequence, not punishment, but a reflection. Every action, thought, or even intention leaves a mark, shaping energetic patterns that later return as situations and encounters. Yet, we always have a choice in how to respond. The soul does not come to suffer. It comes to awaken. And every decision made in love, forgiveness, or patience alters the karmic imprint. We are not victims of fate, but its co-authors. Though some events may be part of a predestined script, how we live them is up to us. This is where true spiritual maturity is born, not in avoiding pain, but in transforming it into awareness. Free will is the key that can unlock any karmic door, and every day of life is an opportunity to make a new choice that brings the soul closer to the light. There are different types of karma, and understanding them can deepen the meaning of our lives. There is personal karma, based on the actions of an individual soul, and collective karma, which binds groups, families, nations, or even all of humanity. Sometimes we face hardships, not only due to our own choices, but because we are part of a broader healing process. For example, a child born into a family with a troubled history may carry the task of breaking generational patterns, or a person caught in the midst of social change may be working through the karma of their people. There is also instant karma, where consequences arise immediately, and hidden karma, which manifests years later or even in future incarnations. These mechanisms operate precisely without emotion, like a spiritual law of attraction. But awareness allows the soul to stop being a blind participant and become a wise observer. And when you see the cause behind the effect, you begin to step out of the cycle. Though much is determined before birth, no life path is a rigid scheme. The soul creates not an absolute script, but a map of possibilities. It is like a journey with many forks, where every encounter, emotion, and decision influences the route. At the spiritual level, many outcomes are known, but which one becomes reality depends on human choice. This is why the same conditions can lead to entirely different destinies. One person, betrayed, closes their heart. Another opens it wider. One blames, another forgives. This freedom to respond gives the soul a chance to accelerate its evolution. Sometimes planned lessons are cancelled because the soul has already mastered them through inner work. Other times, challenges repeat until awareness is complete. This world is not a prison or a game of chance. It is a living textbook, its pages filled by you. Even mistakes become part of your awakening. Over many lives, the soul encounters the same lessons in different forms. These may be recurring themes: addiction, loss, rejection, or the pursuit of power, recognition, or control. Such repetitions are not punishment, but a sign that something important remains unlearned. Sometimes a person feels inexplicable anxiety or a strong pull toward certain situations, people, or places. This could be an echo of past incarnations, a trace of unfinished karmic business. We call it fate. But in truth, it reflects unconscious inner patterns the soul has chosen to heal. Each of us is a novice in some ways and a master in others. The situations where it is hardest to remain mindful point to our spiritual growth. If you face the same challenge repeatedly, it is an invitation, not to avoid or fight it, but to understand its origin and purpose. For it is through awareness that the pattern is resolved. Each incarnation is a chance not only to correct past mistakes, but to bring something new into the world. Every person carries not just karma, but dharma, an inner purpose, the reason the soul came here. This is not always a grand mission to change the world or save others. Sometimes dharma is revealed in how you love, listen, or create space for others. But often, this inner task is drowned out by the noise of the external world. We strive to meet expectations, follow others' scripts, and forget to listen to ourselves. The result is a sense of emptiness or meaninglessness that achievements cannot fill. It is in these moments that the soul quietly reminds us, through fatigue, a desire to escape the noise, or a longing for solitude, silence, simplicity. This is the call to return to the true path. And when a person rediscovers what makes them feel alive inside, they remember why they came. The feeling that you've been here before can arise unexpectedly. It may appear in dreams, during travel, or in an encounter with someone you've never met, but feel you've known forever. Some souls carry fragments of memory, images, languages, skills, fears, or a pull to specific eras. A child might speak an ancient language fluently or instinctively play an instrument they've never seen. These manifestations are often ignored or suppressed, but they hold clues. The soul always seeks ways to remind us who we are, through art, music, inner urges, or things that bring tears without reason. In a world dominated by the mind, such signals may seem strange, but they are the bridge between the present and the past. When you begin to trust these inner responses, the world changes. It becomes not a series of accidents, but a tapestry of meaning. And you no longer just live. You remember why you were born here and now. When we weave these threads together, karma, free will, spiritual contracts, and forgetting, what emerges is not just a theory, but a deep recognition. The revelation is that no one comes into this world by chance. We choose the moment and place of birth, our family, surroundings, events, and even our suffering. We craft a plan where every shadow holds the potential for light. We are not victims of circumstance, but its architects. The most important discovery is not the knowledge that the soul is eternal, but the realization that even the hardest life has meaning. When you stop asking why and start asking for what purpose, everything begins to shift. Pain becomes a teacher. Loss becomes a reminder, and every day becomes an opportunity to awaken. Then, you are not just living, but consciously walking the path you chose for yourself. This is the true power of the soul, the ability to remember its purpose in a world designed to make you forget. Understanding that your soul chose this life transforms your perception of reality. You begin to see meaning in chaos, hear guidance in coincidences, and find teachers in the most challenging people. Every moment ceases to be random and becomes part of a grand design. This knowledge brings not only comfort, but immense responsibility. For if you chose this path, you already have everything you need to walk it. This is not a path of perfection, but of remembrance. As you remember who you are, you begin to live differently, softer, more attentively, more deeply. You stop comparing, judging, running. You start being present. The fact that you've listened or read this far is already a sign. Perhaps this too is part of the plan. Perhaps right now, your soul is reminding you that you are not lost. You are on the path. And even if not everything is clear, you are moving home. Life is not a series of random episodes. It is a journey that began long before birth and continues beyond death. The soul enters this world not blindly, but with intention, lessons and tasks. It chooses its body, surroundings, pain, joy, and even loss to awaken through it all. We will not remember everything at once, that is by design. But we can begin to recognize familiar signals, inner responses, synchronicities. Nothing that happens to us is meaningless. It is a reminder. Your soul is no accident. And if you feel this, you have already begun to remember. If this resonates with you, support us. A subscription, like, or comment is more than just a button. It's a way to show you're listening, that you too are seeking answers. This helps us create more content for those who feel as you do. We don't offer ready-made truths. We simply walk deeper together, and everyone who responds becomes part of this journey. Have you ever felt that this life is not your first? That some people seem familiar or events repeat like rehearsals? That you came here for a reason? Share your story. We read everything, and perhaps your experience will help someone else remember.